Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Distraint Deluxe Edition. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but that's what I'm going with. This is another Ratalaika port, and I apologize that I haven't actually done anything on a new Vita game in a little while. I mean, the last one I would have done is like, that Pantsu game, I suppose, like a couple of weeks ago, but that's basically all that's been coming out. Ratalaika ports that don't look even remotely interesting, or those Powergy puzzle games which are fine, but they're so obvious as to what they are, you can just look at them and see what they are. And Kemco RPGs. That seems to be all that's coming out lately. And I just want to prove my point. Here's two screenshots that I pulled from the PlayStation Store with the protagonists blocked out. These games look basically identical. I don't know if they are, they just look like they are, and it's something I don't really want to put up with anymore. You wonder why Ratalaika doesn't send me review code these days? Probably because I shit on everything they do from Orbit, but this time it's not actually going to be that bad, although to say it's a bit thin on the ground is more closer to the truth than just outright bad. With that said, let's go take a look at the options, of which there are not that many, but I will admit there's a couple of things here that I like, including being able to change the dialogue sound, which is a nice touch. You can also change the amount of film grain, although I would not recommend turning this up at all because this just looks horrid. We're going to leave it about there because that's about the default. Like, I can barely see it even blown up on my monitor here. On my OLED Vita at this level, I can't see it at all. And you can know what I meant to do there. You know, let's just swap back around. There we go. And you can change your brightness as well, but again, that just kind of looks ugly, so I'm just going to leave it on the default. You don't need to worry about the brightness being too low to see something you can't interact with, because whenever you walk over something you can interact with, it'll give you a little exclamation point that you can use to see that anyway. There's also like 10, 12 different languages, so whatever. We'll just hit continue. Also, I should point out the controls in this game are a little weird. They're not bad, it's just a little strange. So you've got your square and your X buttons, which are your action buttons, and triangle, circle, L and R, which all pull up your inventory. And you use the action buttons to swap between items in your inventory, because you can only hold 3 items at one time, and then you interact with items to use them. That's the entire control set of the game, which is fine by me, I suppose. So I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, I had a feeling it wouldn't let me go that way. Let's go the other way. Did I tell you it's a horror game? If that wasn't immediately obvious. Washing machine! Yeah. I'm sorry, you're probably not taking this remotely seriously, are you? I mean, I'm not. Just because some of these scares are, well, they're not that interesting, we'll put it that way. I guess it wants me to go through the door. Oh dear, it's the old lady. Oh, I'm looping, okay. Well, I'd be lying if I said the game didn't have some interesting imagery. Well, I'm just looping around if I go to the right. Let's go back to the left. I've been playing this for about 45 minutes before this... Huh. That's odd. I've been playing this for about 45 minutes before I started this video, mainly because How Long to Beat has this game listed at 2 hours, and there is also a 100% achievement guide that... Ooh. Freeze. Oh, that was intentional, okay. But yeah, there's also an achievement guide that told me I was about halfway through the game, so... I figured now is as good a time as any to start it up. Not the best English. I'm expecting it'll teleport me right. No, actually it didn't. Oh, I need to go get coffee again. They've already made me do this once. So there is a plot going on. You're basically a... I think you're a lawyer? Or something along those lines, and you basically go and evict people from their houses to help make money for the city and the people that you're working for. And my guess is that all of this horror imagery is being conjured up by his guilt over doing this. Like, the first two people he's had to evict in the story are an old lady, as you might have been able to guess, and a guy who lives out in the woods who has basically nothing else. This guy is very clearly nuts. With that said, though, I will say that the game does a good job on its presentation. Thankfully, Radalaika did not screw up the port this time. This is a save point, by the way. Your game doesn't save automatically, and it does warn you about this, so, you know, points for that. But yeah, the game itself looks and sounds pretty damn good. I mean, it's got the weird thing going on here where the game was very clearly designed by like a 32 by 9 monitor or something like that because it's bloody wide. But graphically it looks pretty good. They've got some style going on here, other than it making it look like they accidentally turned on the DK mode in GoldenEye. Other than that, everything looks pretty Deception. But yeah, everything actually looks really well done and stylized. The guys obviously put a ton of work into it. Turns out the game was actually black and white, but he added color to it just by adding, like, hues over everything. And to be fair, he did a really good job of it. I've got nothing wrong with the way this game presents itself. And the sound is actually pretty good too, although I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of it, mainly because it kind of makes everything sound a bit more overwrought. Like, some things would be just not as scary if it wasn't constantly sending out, like, sort of unsteady audio at you. Alright, so I guess I'm not going in there. Another save point. The gameplay is pretty simple. Just wander around, look for pieces of a puzzle that you need to solve. And that's pretty much it. There has been one action sequence, although I think it was meant as a sort of, this is meant to happen, you're meant to lose, something like that. What the hell is wrong with that nurse's face? Okay, nothing out of the ordinary here, I suppose. I get the feeling if I walk into that nurse, it's going to kill me. Except the nurse is gone now, so whatever. Hi. Sounds like the nursing home my mother used to work at. But yeah, I've got nothing wrong with the way the game presents itself, outside of maybe the audio being a bit too on the nose. And it actually seems to run alright too, like, I got no problem with the game's frame rate. I haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary, and considering that this is a Ratalaika port, that's something you really should be aware of. I mean, the game does pause from time to time, but, well, that's just... what's it called? That's just a thing that Ratalaika games do, where they freeze up when you get a trophy. They do that on purpose. There's a fuse box near the kitchen. Alright. So yeah, now we've got an item. We can scroll through, or we can just have the item there. That's the entirety of the game's control set. What do you mean that would be rude? Whatever. Yep, this would be the one. Are you kidding? I gotta watch the actual Vita for this. Well, that was an annoying puzzle, but at least the lights are back on. Well, it's not even a puzzle, it's just an arcade challenge. Alright, back to the basement. No run key, unfortunately, but... what are you gonna do? I guess my main problem with it is just I'm not that impressed. The gameplay is very light on its feet. The actual horror is... well, I mean, it's horror. It's just... not that interesting in the grand scheme of things. And the game is incredibly short, because, as I said, oh dear. You found some bloody meat. Okay, this guy definitely is crazy. Oh. I need some better ingredients, right? Just, sate my curiosity. Yep, had a feeling. But yeah, the game's very light on its feet. It's only 2 hours long. And the horror is... well, it's obviously creepy. It's not that bad. It's not terrible. It's just... I'm not that interested. Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, this game's completely detached from reality at this point. I mean, it wasn't particularly stuck to it like flypaper to begin with, but I mean, damn. My guess is I have to go back and ask him again for some more, for some food. Then I give it to that guy, then it lets me move, then I get to go and see the old lady. Am I right? Maybe not. We've already been here. I mean, it's okay. It's doing exactly what it said it does on the footage that you're seeing. I'm just not particularly impressed. Couldn't give you a clue on how to really improve it, but... but yeah, I don't really know. I'm guessing I have to go talk to someone else. Maybe these two out here. Oh, there's someone there now. Can't talk to him apparently. How odd. Well, that camera going back and forth isn't particularly great, but it's not that big of a deal on the Vita screen. Huh. Okay, I'm guessing I have to do something about that television. Question is what? I've already been pretty much everywhere I can go. Maybe I missed something. The power's back out again. Alright. I'm gonna say that there's nothing back here. Still can't get through there. Oh, crazy lady's back. Right, that's probably where I need to be. Okay, at least the lady didn't end up killing me. That's a good start. This is a familiar situation. They talk forever. A cowbell. A hanger. What the hell am I going to do with a hanger? Well, I have a feeling I know what to do with the cowbell. Never mind. Oh, what? It's a weird looking lady, even for this game. I have a feeling. Sorry, did that just say Ken Badcock? Is that supposed to be a reference to something? Because I'm thinking of someone with some bad genitalia. That's not great. He needs a flower, apparently. I wonder what you're supposed to do with the cowbell, then. There we go. Oh, look, it's the crazy old lady. This game is strange. Also, I apologize if there's sounds going on in the background. I can't hear them. I don't have my sound on. I don't think she needs the flower anymore. Oh dear, the door's been barred. That's never great news. Right. Here, take the cowbell. Why on earth would that bar the door? Is the lady that just bloody nuts? Oh well, in we go. This probably isn't going to turn out the way I think. No, she's... Huh. Alright then. Scallywag. Okay, no surprising imagery, no nothing, no stealing parts off dead old people's bodies to make food, just regular old-fashioned chit-chat. Mr. Jones. Alright, well, we've been out for 25 minutes. I think you get the point. Let's just find a save point and chuck this down. It's usually... Huh. Oh, never mind. It's not like we're going to finish this anyway. So, it's not terrible, but it's very thin on the ground. The horror imagery is a little bit overblown and kind of disconnected from reality from the very beginning, and it doesn't leave as heavy of an impression as you might hope. But it's okay at the grand scheme of things. The port is fine. It has a charming little look to it, despite being bloody 32:9, or probably even wider than that now I think about it. It's not terrible, I suppose, but let me just put this into context for you. While I was doing a little bit of research to figure out just how far I was into this game, I went and looked it up on Steam, and as of the moment that I am recording this video, it is on sale for 83 cents. In comparison to the PlayStation Vita version, which I bought out of my own pocket for $4.79. Yeah. Kind of feel like I wasted my money in all honesty, but at least the ad revenue will help out with that a little bit. Oh well. It's not something I recommend outright. If you're looking for good two-dimensional horror-style games, Lone Survivor is always the choice. That video should be up at this point. I'm still working my way through the top 100 editing, and it's a bit of a pain in the neck, but I'll get there eventually. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.